this bolt here. I'm going to clean it. I'm going to re-grease it with some white lithium grease, really light coat. If you see that scratch right there, these two screws here, pull these two out, put the thread lock on them and put them back in. Make sure they're flush. These here, I measure how much is sticking out right here. So this has got about a 3/16 quarter inch, 3/16 quarter inch, so they're about the same. You can see I got a little bit of a gap in there. But once I put them on and I put the rubber on there, that gap closes up. So I try to have it with the same gap, both sides, when I go to put it back together. Make sure you put those back in with thread lock. This is your steering grommet. And as you can see, I have drilled holes in this one right here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 holes on this side and 11 holes on that side, which makes it a lot softer. And if it gets a little bit too soft, you can always just pump silicone back into these here and fill them back up if you went too far. I weigh 165 pounds, so I want some really good steering. I want some tight turning radius. Right now I ride an Evolve Bamboo GT with a double gull wing truck, and it turns really tight. So looking for tightness on this here, this is what I've done to soften up the grommets. So I've got them all drilled out. These are 5 30-second holes, 11 of them on each side. In the back, I have 6 holes on each side. Usually the back is what holds the back end together, so I don't get no steering wobbles when I'm at higher speeds. So this gives me the turning, and the back with only 6 holes on each side gives me the stability for higher speeds. So that's what I have on there. We'll put it back together. Also on this bolt, I've taken a file and I've filed off the corners of this here, just really lightly, because when you get it back from China, it's a 90-degree corner. It's square. So when you go to put it back together, it doesn't want to go back together that easy. So you could see, got a little bit of a chamfer there, just a tiny bit, just enough to get in there and make it a little bit easier to find home. So now I'll go ahead and throw some grease on it. Let's put it back together. And that's what we have. So putting it back together is the same as taking it apart, just go in reverse. I just want to give you my little tip about drilling the holes. What it does is it softens up the rubber. If it gets too soft, fill it up with silicone again. That's my video for today. I'm going to put it back together. I'm going to go take it out for a spin and see how she rides. I already know it rides good. So this right here is your steering limiter. This right here as you can see, this little ridge right here sits right there, and it allows it only to go a certain amount. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to file this out a little bit wider and this a little bit wider. Not by much, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So that's going to be one of them, one of my hacks. And then When I first got the board, it came with all this foam packing. All this foam stuff right here. I saved it all because it's good for setting my board and working on it. So I can put it on there, holds it up for me. And I have the one center block right here that I can put underneath this side here to hold up this side higher or this side higher. And it comes really in handy. So I've held on to it and use it for blocks for when I'm working on my board. And then also I have my Evolve Bamboo GT up here, which is a very nice board. And I'll go ahead and review that one. Do some comparison as far as writing. So this is my video on steering for the